Okay. So we got the chat going and we're starting. Yay! I'm so excited. So for our singers, just make sure that your original sound for musicians is on. Jenna, I know you have a separate device for the audio, so I feel like you're probably fine. If it turns out that you start to sing and I can't hear you, I'll stop you right away and just make sure the settings are all good. But I think we should be good. Otherwise, Blakely, are you all good with that setting? You're my only non-Zoom student.
I've never done that before.
Okay, are you on a computer?
I'm on an iPad.
So you actually might be fine. I'll do
Okay.
the same thing. If I can't hear you, we'll figure something out, but I think it'll be okay. I just muted myself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do that little warm-up that I was talking about. So again, Amanda, feel free to try it out, but I just ask that everybody is on mute for this, just so it's not like a bunch of sounds at once. And what we're going to do is we are going to tilt our head back, stick out our tongue, and we're going to go, nah. Amazing. It's so funny from here. Laughing at all of you. So the technique with the head tilt is that it is not a chin forward head tilt, which has some tension here, and it is also not a triple chin head tilt with the tension going on here. What it is however you would normally be singing with that beautiful lengthened but not tense neck, you're just gonna cock the head back a little bit. This is like, I would say, a 45-degree angle. If this is 90, we're going kind of halfway. This is actually a really helpful tool, and maybe I'll get into it with some of the singers, but when we're trying to belt and extend the range higher, this little head cock actually helps with, it has to do with the shape of the muscles in the larynx. It actually helps them stretch more, and when you are singing high, your vocal folds stretch. So this actually does help with that. I know it's kind of crazy because I don't know about you, but when I was getting into singing, everyone always told me, like, don't move your neck like that. Like, don't be doing this, which is true to an extent. But now you're going to notice it. If you're hearing any or seeing any big belters live, go like that. They're actually doing it for that reason. It's not just because it looks cool. So we'll just do a couple just so you can hear and feel what it sounds like. Or no, we're going to start lower. So head cocked, tongue flat out, and if it starts to move in and out, we know the tongue wants to be involved when it doesn't need to be. So let it just flop out. And we're going to go, nah. And we'll do a couple. Belters, we're gonna start back where we were and just go up a little bit, and then we're gonna start. Nah. I'll do it too, just so you can hear what that is. Nah. Make sure you get that nice and tangy sound in there. Okay, let's begin. So Josee, take it away. So you can just start it, sing all the way through, and then of your cut of whatever it is, 1 to 2 minute cut, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, cool. Let's just go.
And if you want to just re-say what the name of the song is, because Amanda wasn't here when we all introduced the songs.
Yeah, sure. This song is called Oscar-Winning Tears, and it's by an artist called RAYE. So, can you hear it? So I'll take this front row seat, and baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar-winning tears, popcorn and ice cream. Baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar-winning see right through your tears, baby. 9 o'clock entertainment. Oh man, I wish I could tape it. Sit down, no tissues, no string section, no tiny violin. For the last time, I'm your audience. I'll take this front row seat. And baby, baby, you can go ahead and cry those, baby. Baby, 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 would you really go ahead and would you go ahead and just cry, cry, cry those tears, oh, baby. Stop there.
Okay. Awesome. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, since this is a master class, I'm not going to put all my students know this, that I always make you be like, what did you like about it? Tell me something you like about it. We're not going to do that. We're just going to get right into it. So, I'm just telling you now that you're a star. And that you don't forget that we're going to address that you did well, but I want to just go right into it so that we get it through. And we started like a couple minutes late, so we'll still give you your full time because there was some extra time built into the end, so we'll be fine. Okay. So first, I want you to tell me, how did it feel? Did it feel really easy, all strain, or somewhere in the middle?
There were a couple notes that I was like, could have placed that better.
Okay.
And a couple notes that I'm like, should I push more on that? And a couple notes where I'm like, should I lighten up on that? So there's just a lot of like, I don't know.
Okay. So I love this. The question of, should I lighten up somewhere is like so good, because so much of belting is the fact that we don't need to be screaming and belting the entire time. So much of that power comes from context. So can you just start it again? And I'm going to just start and stop you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go back. Okay. So I'll take this front row seat. And baby, baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar winning tears, popcorn and ice cream. Baby, baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar winning tears.
So, I'm trying to find the lyrics here. What the heck? Where is it? Because she talks so much in the beginning.
I think I sent you just the cut of it.
Oh, did you like? Oh, you. I see. You sent me like.
I got you.
The actual lyrics. Cool. Perfect. So we go. So I'll take this front row seat. So I'll take this and seat are quite small vowels, right? But if we go so small up that high, that's where we get that sort of tension. So can you just go, so I'll take, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah. Acapella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In tune.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take. Oh, hold on.
How about do the whole thing on hey?
Okay. Hey, 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 hey.
Yes. So that hey, especially, it opens
hey.
Up.
Yeah.
Did it feel way easier?
Yeah.
So now it's easier said than done, but the next step is to put the words in there. So I'll take this front row state.
Say.
Yeah.
Say. You don't want any of the E in there? Just.
Try it once with absolutely none. Like wrong.
So I'll take this front row seat. That was.
Try sat, like I sat down.
So I'll take this front row set. I feel like take is harder than seat for me. Is that
Yes. You know why? Because of the diphthong. So,
Hey.
te. So
So,
try
te.
and only close to that E part right before the consonant.
Okay.
And then sing seat regular.
So I'll take this front row seat.
Okay, C was great. For te, I actually don't want you to come off of it so much. The other issue, and this happens all the time, is when we're deciding if we want it to be like speech-like and powerful, or if we want it to be lyric and powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go, so I'll take, sometimes it comes off like it's like, okay, I'm just gonna scream the note and then be done.
Yeah.
But if we actually sing through it, so I'll take, I actually want you to sing all the way through it with that
With the flip to take.
Yeah, try that.
Okay. So I'll take this front row seat. I think honestly I was just trying to hit the note and I should have been doing the flip. Okay.
Yes.
Take. Okay.
So that is a great point. So sometimes it's actually really helpful to be in it on the note beforehand. So you might need that so you're already in the spot instead of just going so It's hard. It's way harder to just like, okay, now I have to change my entire mechanism in a half a second. It's the same vibe, same concept as when we give ourselves more space before we need it for a higher note so that it is easier to achieve. Same thing. We may need to add that color in sooner, even though you don't need it as much because it's easier for you.
I see. No, that was easier, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's keep going because I think that a similar vibe happens again. So start from, so I'll take this front row seat and keep going.
Okay, acapella?
Yeah.
So I'll take this front row seat and baby, you can go ahead, cry those Oscar winning tears, popcorn and ice cream. Yeah, tears.
And it's the same issue. E. So what is it? Popcorn.
Yeah, tears. Okay.
Yeah, try it. Try it just from, and baby, you can go ahead.
And baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar winning tears, popcorn and ice cream.
Okay, how did that feel? I know that's not the end goal because obviously it was not the right word. Like the vowel was very modified.
Yeah.
But how did it feel there?
Better. I'm just confused because scream and seat feel fine, but it's the T I think that's like messing me up.
Scream. I see, because it's the same.
And I scream. Like that feels fine. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It could be also where you're kind of placing it. Like scream when you just did it almost came off a little bit into like a headier place. And
I'm switching it to head for a second.
Tears is like boom.
When I say like baby you I put you in the head voice too when I do that. You can go ahead and then come back and go.
Yes.
Which I feel fine with, but I don't want to put like any of the other ones in there. Like I feel like the style is there right now, but
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Tears and Tate and
Tate. It's a little different than scream. So you do popcorn and ice cream. So scream goes like ooh. But we're doing tears and it's all full voice. So we need somehow to get this nice mixed vowel where we have that space, but it's still round enough that it sounds like tears. Because if we go Taz and we go full Taz, it's gonna not sound right.
Yeah. I mean, she is British, but I'm not.
True. So can you try it now? Thinking like mitten. Tis.
Tis.
But in this place.
Tears. Okay.
Tears.
Okay. And baby, baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar.
That's what's gonna happen in this class. You good? Let's try again.
Brother. Okay. Okay. And baby, you can go ahead and cry those Oscar winning tears, popcorn and ice cream.
What'd you think of that?
That felt a little better. Yeah, I think that was better.
Yeah.
I think that's where it will sit, I feel.
Yes, and I think that's great. Something I wanted to just take note of for everybody is not really related to what we're doing, but it was just something that you did instinctively, and I just want to tell everybody. And it's a huge thing with belting that a lot of people don't know. So when you went to start and you took this like massive breath, right? And then you started and you were like, whoa, because it immediately fell off like a second into you singing. And then you literally exhaled and then started again.
Yeah.
And then it was perfect. It was in the perfect spot. So, ding ding. A lot of times you need way less air. And the thing that's so unsettling about that is that belting sounds so powerful. When we're actually screaming in our own like anguish in our lives, like crying over things, we get really like our body is so into it, right? It's like whatever it is. I don't know how many of you do that regularly, but
anguish here. Okay.
Anguish. But when we sing, it's not that way. We're using acoustics. That is the shape that's going on inside of our skull and our chest, the sound bouncing around. We're using that to achieve the grit, the edge, the volume, not your actual effort. So when we take a huge breath, what happens is if the vocal folds are like here, they're chilling. This is the air. If you take a huge breath and then you're like, okay, I'm giving it everything, it goes like this. It just smacks the bottom of the vocal folds. When air pops through them, they open like this. It's a horrible visual, but we're just gonna go for it here. They open like this, and now what happens is it goes like this. That's the air passing through. So a lot of times when someone cracks or comes off that way, the first thing I say is take a smaller breath. The next thing I say is stop engaging your abs. So this is another thing that it really depends on the person, but some teachers are really into ab work and other teachers are not. I'm a not. So we'll talk more about that later, but those are those two steps. So I wanted to just point that out because you kind of instinctively did it, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew that. Okay, let's keep going. So now let's go to the bridge so that you can miss me.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to do it with the track? We can do it with the track.
For a second, yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry if that's like a horrible place.
You can miss me with the bowl. I can see right through your tears, baby. 9 o'clock entertainment. Oh man, wish I could tape it. Sit down, no tissue.
Okay, let's just do that one.
Yeah.
So how's that feeling?
Hard.
Hard.
That feels like I'm like.
Yeah. So
Entertainment. Yeah.
I think part of it's the vowel, and part of it is what I actually was just talking about. So I want you to be really aware that we still need consistent airflow to do belting. So it's not that we're going to take in no air and then use no air. What we're going to do is we're going to take in less air, and then we're going to use it efficiently.
Okay.
So what I want you to think about while you breathe for this part is your ribs expanding. So when they expand, when you breathe, they're holding your lungs, making sure they're healthy. When you breathe, they go whoop. And to keep them open like this, or to even get them to open, it requires the use of the muscles that are in between. These are called the intercostal muscles. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in just enough for the phrase, so nothing too extreme, no huge singer's breaths, but just, hi, my name's Josee breath.
Okay.
You do that, and then I want you to think about how your ribs are going to expand and touch the walls next to you while you're singing. So that's the first thing I want to try before we get into vowel stuff, because that might fix a lot of it or at least make it a little bit easier. So let's try that.
Cool.
And do you want to do it with the track still, or do you?
Yeah. This part is just kind of like. You can miss me with the bone. I can see right through your tears, baby. 9 o'clock entertainment. Oh man, I wish I could tape it. Yeah, that part is. I don't like that line actually.
Actually, let's cut it out of the song. No, but I thought, I don't know if you felt this. I thought that now overall that was a little bit easier, and then there were just a couple words popping out of the texture that still needed to be worked with, and that's where I think vowel work comes in. So that's your baseline. You take in a smaller breath, enough for you to speak, and you are keeping the ribs nice and buoyant. That's where your support's coming from, so that you actually are using the air that you take in instead of taking in a small breath and then just going for it. You know what I mean? So I think 9 is a really hard one.
Yeah.
9.
That 9. Starting the phrase on 9 and then entertainment.
Yes.
Oh man, wish I could tape it. Like, what?
8. So the reason behind this, you would think that 9 would be easy because it starts on But the reason it's hard is because of the diphthong and because of the N. So can we do, this is another thing we could talk about really quick. We have another minute. So the vocal folds have a little bit more of a firm closure when we are belting rather than not belting or doing a different color. So we can kind of, this little hack, you have to do this very gracefully, because if you don't, then it could backfire. So this is what it is. It's a tiny little glottal stop or a closure of the vocal folds before you start singing. I'm going to give you an example just with my own voice, a simple ah. I'm going to go ah. That did not have a glottal start. And now this one is going to ah. The second one has a lot more presence. I didn't take in any more air. I didn't do anything different with my body or the shape. Literally nothing different, except I started with the vocal folds closed. And this is not a ah. A lot of times teachers don't teach this because they're very worried that people are going to smack their vocal folds together like that. So you can actually start with your vocal folds closed without a glottal at all. How do you do that? A couple ways. One is you can do this, a very gentle cough. It's kind of like this. So you can all try that. Or if you don't even want that much, you can breathe and then hold your breath for a second and let them naturally close. Like you're about to speak. So what I want you to do is I want you to start there and take the N completely out, and then think about the first vowel and not the second vowel in the diphthong, and see if that helps you with that 9.
Okay. Just like go.
Yeah, just try it.
Oh God. It feels too hot. Like
9.
9 o'clock. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. 9 o'clock entertainment. Oh man, I wish I could tape it. Okay, that set me up for a better phrase there.
Upside down triangle.
Again.
9
o'clock entertainment. Oh man, I wish I could tape it.
Okay, now try it as they're in with the track, and then we'll be done.
Okay. Wait. Sorry. Right from there, from the.
Yeah.
From the same. Okay. I can see right through your tears, baby. 9 o'clock entertainment. Oh man, I wish I could tape it. I feel happy with that phrase now.
Yeah.
Better about that.
Yeah, and you can just like keep playing around with that too, because there's also an option where it's even just a little quieter, and that could make the difference too.
Cool.
Hey, thanks, Josee Star. Okay, Jenna, let's do some Adele.
Hi.
Hi, I am ready. So I'm gonna go on mute, and you can sing your 1 to 2 minute cut of this song, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll stop and start after that. And
Great.
again, just a reminder: throw your amazing compliments in the chat. Okay, bye.
All right. Wow. Okay. I'm not a professional singer, and this is more of a reach song for me because I wanted to give you all
Jenna, you're a
teaching
star.
moment.
How about you stop? Okay,
Okay,
I'm ready.
Tell me if you can hear the audio, okay? Yeah? Okay, cool. No one knows me like you do. You're the only one. Tell me who do I to. Don't get me wrong now.
Sorry, Jenna, I'm gonna stop you. It's cutting in and out a little bit. What device are you using for the audio?
I can just try doing everything on my computer instead. I'm using audio on my phone right now.
Yeah, I would recommend that. And then you turn on your computer, turn on the setting, the audio setting. You have to actually click into audio settings, and after all the mic and speaker testing, there's a original sound for musicians button. Do you see that?
Sec. Original sound for musicians. Got it.
Yeah, and then now once you're in the actual meeting, on the top left, it's gonna say original sound for musicians, : and if it says off, turn it on by pressing the words.
Okay, it's
yes,
on now.
You should hear all the static. That means it's correct.
Okay, can you hear me okay also?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Back up. Okay, I'm ready. No one knows me like you do, and since you're the only one that matters, tell me who do I run to? Look, don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow. All I ask is if this is my last night with you, hold me like I'm more than just a friend. Give me a memory I can use. Take me by the hand while we do what lovers do. It matters how this ends. What if I never love again? Let's be our lesson in love. Let this be the way we remember us. I don't wanna be cruel or vicious. I ain't asking for forgiveness. All I ask. No key change.
Oh, what a tease. Okay, so that was awesome. Yay, amazing. I absolutely loved how well you navigated the registers. We're going to talk more about that because this song is all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now let's start it again, and I'll stop you and start you. Do you want to do it with the track or a cappella? It doesn't matter to me.
Acapella's fine.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. No one knows me like you do. And since you're the only one that matters, tell me, who do I run to? Look,
Okay.
don't.
So in part, what makes the more powerful notes, which is not where we are right now, we're not there yet. What makes the powerful notes powerful, like we were talking about before, is context. So a way to make this more efficient and easier is to get this in a really speech-like place. What happens is it actually, instead of the sound being, I'm gonna call thick, and this does not mean thick like, tell me who do I run to, which is me. It's not that in terms of big, it's actually the weight that it's carrying on you. So sometimes an actual really beautiful lyric sound can be heavy. And that's because there's extra air kind of surrounding it that's causing it to be heavy. And what happens is, if we're already there, it's going to bring heaviness up as we go and make those powerful notes that we're trying to actually get in that nice sweet spot and small sweet spot really hard to do. So we're gonna basically make it easier for you from the beginning before we even get to it, so that when you get to it, it's a little bit easier.
Love it.
So what I want you to do is, can you just, like a poem, speak those lyrics to me?
Sure. Starting from the beginning again. No one, like with the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay. No one knows me like you do. And since you're the only one that matters. The police are chiming in. Tell me, tell me, who do I run to?
Okay, let's just do that much. So now we're gonna do a little mini version where you're not going to fully sing, but you're also not fully speaking anymore. What it's going to sound like, I'm gonna use happy birthday as an example. A spoken happy birthday sounds like happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. A sung happy birthday sounds happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. What we want is happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. It's giving vibes of musical movies where the actors don't know how to sing. It's that. Okay, so I know you're all laughing because you all know what I'm talking about. Dear Evan Hansen, which we're getting to later, but don't see the movie. Okay, anyway. So now if you want to get your first note again, go ahead, and we're going to sing it. So it's going to sound real funny.
Okay. No one knows me like you do. And since you're the only one that matters, tell me, who do I run to?
All you students, you all do this. You don't go far enough, and you do it perfectly how I want you to do it at the end on the middle one. So yes, sing it like that. Does that feel like so different from how you were singing it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, can you describe it a little bit?
I think before, like, I was singing more breathy, and this is a more focused sound,
Yes.
closer to speech.
Yes, and the beauty of this is that it's all opinion based and vibe based and drama based. Everything is, every decision, every intention you have is based in what's going on in here emotionally, right? So you can decide later to experiment with the proportions. You can go way far, like 100 to 0. No one knows me like you do. You can go 0 to 100. No one knows me like you do. And then you can do 60-40, 30-70. You can decide how much is it breathy and how much is it not, how much is it focused, based on your intention. But knowing that you have that option, because when it's overly breathy, the only thing that can be tough about that is that it gets really heavy. So this is going to be a lighter sound, and I mean this weight wise and not tone color wise. So that sound is actually fuller, but it feels smaller. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And this is all belting. This is why it's so hard. You should always, when you're practicing this type of stuff, always record yourself. So I'll definitely like send you guys a recording just so you can hear the difference truly, because it's all acoustics. So to you, it feels small and focused, but out to us, it feels big and bold. So now you can decide to add in the weight to make it feel and sound out to the world like it's lighter. It's all opposites here. So can you keep singing in that exact fashion and just keep going?
Okay. No one knows me like you do, and since you're the only one that matters, tell me, who do I run to? Look, don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow. All I ask is, if this is my last night with you.
I'm going to stop you because of positivity. What did you think?
Well, like normally, so what's that? That's a B. So normally I can't I can't hit a B.
Like that, whatever.
Normally I can't hit a B in my chest voice like that unless I'm like really trying, but it felt like easier to get to it.
So easy. It sounded so easy. It sounded effortless. So what we really need is to find that focus and ride it all the way through. And what ends up happening, which you kind of naturally did, is navigating the tiny breaks in our voice to keep the focus in the same spot. Because what happens is when we hit a break, the focus is like, oh, I'm gonna go that way. And you're like, oh, you're gonna go that way now. So what you actually need to do is make little changes inside your mouth and your throat and even your lungs and whatnot to keep that focused sound all the way through consistently. So what you did when it got to that B, you opened up without needing to think about it, and it worked for you, and you kept what you already had built at the beginning. See, now if you were all breathy at the beginning, that would have been way harder.
It was, yeah.
Now you have to manufacture the focused sound in the middle of the phrase as it's going up, which is like nightmare. But people do it. You'll hear singers super breathy on the verses, and then they just go ham in the chorus. But they're also in the recording studio where they can stop and start. So a lot of times live, you're gonna have to sort of ping up the breathy color just so you have an easier time later. And then you can decide, like, actually, I really want this one word or this one phrase to be breathy because this is how I'm interpreting it as a communicator. We're always trying to communicate. We're using these sounds to communicate. Obviously, in this masterclass, we are talking about the sounds in a technical way, but they mean nothing unless we're doing them for a certain reason, which is why I wanted to get to how beautifully you are navigating between your head register and this more mixy and belting colors, because this song is all over the song. So I want you to keep going now. Let's get to like the chorus section.
Okay, let me just get my
Yes.
You want me to just start at the chorus, or maybe look, don't?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow.
Okay, I'm gonna help you with that. Okay.
Redo it?
Okay. One, like we talked about with Josee, that vowel is booty. I hate that vowel. Ro. It's super round, and what this does is it promotes the more breathy sound. It promotes a lower larynx, which I'm not all for, like a hiked larynx by any means. We don't need it to go, but if it's overly low, it's going to darken up the sound and pull it out of that focus resonant place. So the first thing is we're gonna modify it to Valley Girl. God, that was gross. Okay. The next thing I want you to think about is inside your head. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the term drinking the sound. If you're a student with me, we've done it a million times. But in this sort of this passaggio spot, like you were saying, it's really hard for you to consistently belt like a bee. It's right in that range. It's right there. That's the break. It breaks there for everybody. So to navigate that, we're actually a little bit less air. So take a smaller breath, and I want you to think about the sound going up and back into you rather than straight out. Because the idea is we want it to be powerful, so we think boom. But I actually want you to be selfish and be like, this is my sound, and it's going in this way. Okay. Try those many things I just told you to do all at once.
Okay, I'm holding them all in here. Look, don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow.
Don't say
Yeah, okay, I'll try it again. Look, don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow.
Yes, don't add H's where they don't go. That's another thing, because that again, it's going to promote the air to flood the folds instead of letting them firmly close. I'm hardly using any muscles in the air. It's like I said, hi, my name's Jenna. Almost nothing. That's what I want you to think about. It's just this, like.
Do you want this?
Oh, what were you gonna say?
So you want this phrase more in like a belty, to come from a belty?
I want to try it. I want to try it there, and then we can try it a different way. Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, can you pretend that I'm a friend you haven't seen in a while, which is true, and you're just like, hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Yes, and this is like I'm channeling my mother, like, hey, how are you? Okay, yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yes. So where did you feel the pingy focused point of your sound? Where was that?
Like in the mask of my face.
Like over here. Okay. So what's gonna happen is you are going to start the first note. Don't get me wrong. That's all gonna be right here. Don't get me wrong, I know. Don't get me wrong, I know. There is more tomorrow. Okay. Yes. So for me, that sound was not overly like I'm gonna punch you in the face, which we love. We love that sound. But it wasn't that. But it also wasn't. It was like just enough. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like it too.
You like it?
I wasn't thinking to sing it that way. You know.
I love it. You can try it. You want to try it more like head?
No, I like how you had me do it just now.
You liked it? Okay. Let's just go from there and sing through the chorus one more time with all those things in mind, and then we'll be done.
Okay, great. Oh, you kept the key. I didn't. Look, don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow. All I ask is if this is my last night with you, hold me like I'm more than just a friend.
Keep going.
Give me a memory. Now I'm trying to keep it up there because, like, you know, when I sang it through the first time, I was very much switching into my upper register, and I know how to do that and keep it controlled. So
So, okay. So for the one that you, the first one that it wobbled, that one, I think we can just adjust the vowel. But the second one, I think you could do a full flip.
Mm-hmm.
Full flip in there. Was it on just?
It was on the second half of Memory, I think. Memory.
That's the one with the flip. That's the one I like the flip. What's the one before that?
Just a Friend.
Yeah. So, hold
Same
me
note.
like I'm more than just a friend. Just a friend. Just do that line, and then we'll be done.
Okay. Hold me like I'm more than just a friend. I didn't do it. Just. Okay. Hold me like I'm more than just a friend.
Boom! Okay, you're amazing. Thank you so much. All right, cool.
Love it. Thank you.
Yay! Okay, Correy. Let's hear
Yay.
the best Dear Evan Hansen.
And I am sick, and it's Tech Week, so give me a break, guys.
Okay, Corey's in every show at the same time. I don't know how this man does this, but you do you. You're tired, but you're a star, and it's going to be great. So I'm ready whenever you are, and we'll do the same thing. I'll mute, you go for it, and then I'll stop and start it.
Okay. Can you hear that? Okay. I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I've got nothing to share. No, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong. But every sun doesn't rise. And no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you learn. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Yeah, I struggled on that a lot.
Awesome! Amazing, Correy. So, yes, I know you're sick because you belt C's in our lessons. So, I am so not worried about this at all. So, let's first, what we're gonna do is we are going to lighten up. This is a similar and opposite of what we did with Jenna, where we're going to lighten up in a not wait sense. We're actually going to just do less before we get to the extreme part, because the other thing that can happen is what makes it heavy is not the breath surrounding it, but the muscles that try to get involved when we don't need them to.
Mhm.
So we need to rely on that pinginess of speech again. So we're doing the same exercise, even though it's slightly different purpose. Can you just speak the beginning text? I'll stop you.
Okay. I learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me.
Okay, so we need whiny. I just broke my arm energy here. The reason, the reasoning is, I know in our lessons we've been working a little bit more on sort of broadening. We're doing more classical
Mhm.
stuff right now, and Blakely, same for you. So it's probably we're probably gonna talk about it again. Phantom, anybody? Okay. Anyway, so um, we actually need a little bit of a thinner sound. And I know that's a scary word. The reason behind the thinning is because if it's too thick, it's going to be heavy. So what happened was, even when you spoke, you used like this beautiful, resonant, big voice, but it was a big, big voice. We need whiny, whiny voice, okay? So can you
Okay.
do it again? And this is, I learned to slam on the brake. This is like you
I
just,
learned to slam on the brake
that's exactly what I want. Keep going.
before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me.
Sing it in that spot, just that much.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare,
Yes.
no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share. No, I got nothing to say.
Okay, stop there.
Okay.
How was that?
It felt easier.
Absolutely. And it sounded like it was in that resonant spot without being heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we need to base everything off. There were one or two words where the vowels changed to those dark, tall vowels and pulled off. It's like gone or go or anything like that. I think it started with a G. I can't remember.
Okay.
So making sure that we all know in this style, especially if we're in English, we're just gonna trust that everybody knows what we're saying, and we are going to use some ugly vowels to get this going. This is another thing that's kind of like in opposition with a lot of other genres. Sometimes being really, really devout to the vowel is a really important part of technique for certain genres. And that is true and it's real. We never wanted to go too far, like with Josee when we went too far and it was very clear that it was no longer the word tears, it was like Taz. We never want that. We always, because again, we're communicators first, so the text needs to be the text.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a lot of different ways that people say the same word. I could say go, I could say go, I could say go, I could say go. We can do all these different ones. And one is more resonant and one is not. One is thicker, one is not.
Mm-hmm.
We always want the one with less weight and more ping. You get more bang for your buck that way and you get less strain. So, can you go back and do it that same thing again? It was already so much better. And I want to see where those little notes are that's coming off the voice. Or if you can feel it coming off yourself, you can just be like, yes, it's there.
Okay. I'd learn to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share. No, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. step out of the sun, because you've learned, Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window.
Okay, cool. Let's stop there. So, the beginning of the chorus. Can you remind me what it sounds like?
On the outside.
Yeah. On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm. So for tap, 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 it can be really easy with those P's, where it stops the sound. Tap, tap, tap. To go, like you're literally tapping up on your vocal folds. So what we actually just want you to do is be a little extra speech-like with that, so that it doesn't disrupt the line in the long run. So tap, 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 because we want to keep it nice and light. So let's just try that, and then there's another section I wanted to talk about too.
Okay. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window.
Okay, cool. How did that feel in comparison?
Oh, there, yeah.
Awesome. So the other thing is, and especially, so when you're sick, I think this is valuable information for everybody. When you're sick, a lot of times your vocal folds get inflamed. When they get inflamed, they get fat and less agile. So imagine they're like these vocal folds, they're about yay in thickness, and they do their thing. They go whatever. When you are sick, they've now turned into this. And since they are literally bigger, they are harder to move. So they might go like this, and then now air's escaping. That's when we're really, really sick, and it's like, it's that. But it might be somewhere in between where it's still happening, but now you have to work extra hard to get you there. When your vocal folds are thicker and shorter, the pitch is lower.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is you're having a heavier color than you normally do because you're sick, because we've got these thick folds.
Yeah, I definitely feel
So what you have to do is consciously think about thinning out. Okay? More so than you normally do. So with these things, when you're sick and you're still singing, you have to give yourself a lot of grace, because there's things that you do naturally that you no longer are doing naturally because your vocal folds are just not responding the same way. So I had another student, it might have just been you in our lesson like yesterday, where we also needed to think about more air, the airflow, which was never a problem, but because we're sick, now it's harder to get through things because the vocal folds just need more attention. They're literally like, I'm sick, help me.
Yeah.
That's what they are. That's what they're doing inside your body. So you need to be like, okay, I got you. It's okay. So you normally are in that pingy place right away because you're a tenor and you're doing that. But it's overall darker than normal because of that. So what you need to do is just automatically, every time you restart, tell yourself where you're going. Okay. So that's what I want you to do for this. And now for this flip.
Hold on, my dog wants out. 1 second.
Okay. Get her out. His dog's very cute. My dog.
You're familiar with the dog?
Yes, I'm familiar with the dog. Because every time we have a Zoom lesson, she hears my voice and is like, who's that? And he's like, okay, do you want to stay in here and like chill, or are you going to be annoying? And then
She's so indecisive. She wants in and out, in and out.
Yep. Okay. All right. So with the flip, because you kind of fixed a lot of what I was talking about in the middle of your singing, which is great. But with the flip, I don't want you to flip until you get there. What's happening is you're like, I'm gonna flip, and you're starting to come off the voice too early.
Okay.
This requires an actual it needs that.
Okay.
So I'm waving. I want you to actually flip only on the note you're flipping on. Be really intentional. Okay, try it again.
Start from on the outside looking in?
Sure. And remember, we're thin. We're thin and bright.
In. Okay. On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but no one can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving. Wait, hold on. So it's like waving like that.
Actually, now that you do it, I think I'm is full voice and waving is not.
Yeah.
So, I'm waving. Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. You want to hear that little that happens. Okay. I don't know how to describe it. That's a technical term.
Too far. On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window.
Okay, now I want you to fast forward. Sorry, I'm just stopping because I really.
You're fine.
I'm the queen of the Zoom. So now I want you to go to the version where you are not flipping, and we'll use our last minute to work on that.
I will see if I can do that.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. Oh, you got it. Okay.
On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through the window. I try to.
Everybody. How large of a breath did Correy take? I know. It was massive.
Okay.
He went. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we got. I'm waving. Can you just do that right now?
I'm waving.
I'm
Waving. Okay. I'm waving.
And a lot of this is because you're sick. I don't want to overdo you. The last thing I will say. Here.
Okay.
Tongue position. Let's talk tongue position, people. Our tongue naturally is like this, and this is my whole arm is my tongue, not just this. So there's this here, and it naturally is a little lifted in the back. So a lot of times when we sing, we think we're helping ourselves by giving us space and doing this and pushing the tongue back and down. What we really need to do is lift the soft palate. So if you've heard lift the soft palate in a classical setting, I also use it in this setting. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a small breath, but take a good quality breath. So small breath, but a breath that gets your soft palate lifted, and then let the tongue chill. Let it lift in the back.
Okay.
You can just do it a cappella.
Oh, a cappella?
Yeah.
I'm waving through a window. Yeah, that was easier.
There it is, folks. Amazing, Correy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Blakely, it's your turn. Last but certainly not least, I'm sure you're super cold now. If you want to give yourselves a couple sirens,
I've been doing sirens with my closed mouth,
okay,
so you can tell.
you're like, I need this. I need this. Okay,
I-
so I am ready, Regina. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm singing World Burn. Sorry, I'm trying to get to my cut. I started my cut right in the nitty gritty, just right.
Ooh, I love it. Take your risks. Take your risks. I'm ready.
Okay. Getting time to watch your back. Getting time to turn and cough because you took me down, but you didn't finish me off. My name is Regina George, and in case you're keeping score, Katie may have won the battle, but I will win the war for. I want to watch the world burn. I got the gasoline. I want to make the world burn. And you can quote this. Whoa, 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 whoa. I want to watch the world burn. I got the gasoline. I want to watch the world burn and everyone turn. Me, me, me. I want to watch the world burn. I'll make the world turn. So me. I want to watch the world burn.
Yeah. Yeah, you did that. You did that, Blakely. You did that. That was incredible. So, I really loved how speech-like the low notes were. And what I think our goal is going to be is to bring that all the way up.
Mhm.
Okay. So I know we worked on this a long time ago, that the beginning that is not in your cut, that my name is Regina George. So another way that I always explain how to get that speech like whiny sound is to channel like Britney Spears. Okay?
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Yes. So it's very much like, oh, baby, baby, my name is Regina George. And then from there, that's like the purest version of it. If you ever try that, like if all of you are on mute, you even want to just bust out a oh, baby, right now, it's so easy. It feels like nothing's happening. And what we need to do is then round it out vowel-wise, not change anything about the mechanism to make it not sound as quite as whiny, unless we want that, because that Regina George, you could do that. Like,
Yeah.
That's not out of the realm of possibility for this song. But if you didn't want it to sound like that, my name is Regina George, you can round it out, but keep the mechanism the same as when we were going, wham, 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 wham. So what I want you to do is bring that up. So can you find the spot where you then dip down? It's like you start kind of high and then you go back into that speaking low part and then you go into craziness.
It's like almost all of it. Like
I want to watch the world burn, I got the gasoline. Is that
that's like all low.
Yeah.
There's like,
I want you to
and
start
you can quote this. There's like, and you can quote this. Whoa, whoa,
I want you to start before that.
Before that. So there is the I want to watch the world burn, I got the gasoline. I want to make the world burn, but then it doesn't go up until that part.
Does it go back down again ever?
There's the very last part in like the so mean.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the
So no, then this is the part that I'm talking about that I want you to do.
Okay.
If you want to find it in the track, you can, or you can just do acapella.
I think I found it. Can I start just a nylon? Just kidding. I wanna watch the world burn. So me.
Okay.
I like, can you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah.
Because like when I go higher, like my first instinct is just to close it all, and like the is like and like this is like a e.
Okay. So it's a very good question. And it's so funny how as singers we're all just talking like that. Like it's meh instead of meh. And we all like know what we're talking about. So what I was gonna say is once you get higher, the complicated thing of it is that we need more space. This is just
Mhm.
in any genre you will find as you go higher, you're gonna need more space. But that's very general and it's nuanced because it could be like, what if you're in your passaggio? What if you want it to sound like this? What if you want it to be this color? It's all gonna be a little bit different. So, for example, you're in this pingy place and then you go up to burn, I think is the word, or it's something with an sound.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of times I'll even ask students to modify to an to achieve the higher notes. But in your case here, especially because you're in soprano land in your life, that note's not really that hard for you to achieve, so you don't need a modification of an and since it's already it actually pulls you off the resonance. So what we need to do is first get that into a brighter, pingier version of itself. Okay? So we can do like Ben, like you can think of it as an or like someone talking about someone named Ben and they're like Ben. Another, this is really niche. If you've ever seen SNL a long time ago, they had a skit called The Californians. If you know that skit, they're like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And they talk like that. And this is what we need, because we need the openness of that what are you doing here. It's not what are you doing here. That's for low.
Yeah.
We need what are you doing here. But it's all in that place still. So instead of I want to watch the world burn, we're going to watch the world burn.
Okay.
Okay? So just try that.
From like the, hold on, like the all high one?
No, do the one where you started this last time.
Where I just started. Okay. So I want to watch the world burn and everyone turn mean. Okay. Oh, that's not correct. Hold on, sorry. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I feel like that's more like when I do mean like that, it's more airy than when I do it just like mean. Like I feel like it sounds less resonant. Like the burn, like that was crazy. Didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because mean is one of the most resonant vowels. So now when we stick mean up high, it's quite mean. Because you have to get you either do that or you go meh, and then
yeah.
out. So what do you do about that? You're going to use less air. That's the first thing. So slightly smaller breath. I know it's very counterintuitive because in any other genre, if you're singing up there, you need more air. Here, we don't. We have to trust that our bodies can do it. And we are not going to go Okay, now we're doing it. Okay, and then for instead of mean, can you actually say mean and see where your tongue is in the back? Mean.
It's like all the way up.
It's all the way up, and the sides are touching the top.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open the mouth and keep the tongue position roughly the same. Obviously, we're not gonna like force the tongue sides to stay up because that'll cause a little bit of tension. So just that really high tongue position with an open mouth. Men. Almost like men. Men.
Man.
Yes. Oh. You excited me. Okay, so let's try it. Can you just do it a cappella, like right around there?
Yeah, I can try. I wanna watch the world burn. I got the gasoline. I wanna watch the world burn and everyone turn. Man, man, man. Is that better?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I really loved whatever was happening right before then. That was awesome. So for man, so this is gonna be really whiny. So another thing with these really high mixing, like rock on, that type of sound. I want you to think more about the fact that you are in a very technically correct way whining really loud. Okay?
Okay.
This is again acoustically loud. You're not actually gonna like smack it at all. But I want you to pretend instead of Regina George, like I'm so mean, everything's perfect. I want you to pretend that you are one of Regina George's victims and you're like, she's so mean, oh my God. And you are upset. Okay? And instead of mean, you're gonna sing it on wah. Because babies say wah. And you're gonna stick your tongue out and pop the chin back, okay? Like we did in the warm-up. And you're gonna do that whole thing on wah 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 wah. Okay.
Keep it in my head voice, or do you want me to try to belt it?
I hate that question. Because I kind of don't want you to think about that. I want you to think about the resonance. And the resonance only. Let that determine what happens. So if that means you're in a more head dominant place, if you're pingy enough, it's not gonna matter.
Okay.
Just don't push or pull anything up that doesn't want to be there naturally, is what I'll say.
Okay.
Okay? I know that was annoying to hear.
I'm gonna can I just like try one way? I don't even know if I can get that high. I don't ever think I've tried.
I want you to. Safe.
Okay. On when? With my tongue out?
And the head cocked back a little.
With my tongue out or no?
Yeah.
Me.
Yes.
I think I'll just do it that way. Because yeah, I'm just gonna do it that way.
Yes. Where are you feeling that?
I feel it in a very strange place. It's like I feel it not like in a place, but like vibrating in my mouth. Like I'm trying to explain it, but it's like I just feel it.
For me, the way I describe that feeling is it actually feels like it's just going in the center of my brain.
Yes, like it's like that. Like that's what it feels like.
I want you to imagine like the point of a pencil is your little resonance that's making all that big sound. And it's just like sitting in here. It's just here. And your mouth and the resonating space is what's making it loud or soft, big or small, open or closed. That's your mouth shape. But the actual resonance is sitting like in the middle of right here. Okay? And the head cock back is the easiest way to get you there fast.
Okay.
So now try it still on WA, but no head and no tongue. So now just, in your regular position, but try to recreate that.
That's like, now I feel it more like without the head back, like I feel it more in my nose.
Okay. Try it again, and don't forget that your soft palate exists.
Yeah, that's better.
Soft palate, that's another thing. If you are feeling nasally and you don't want that color, because I'm not one to hate on nasality, I think it's useful. So if you are not wanting to sound nasally, the quickest way to get that away is to lift your soft palate and yawn.
Yeah.
The quickest way is to lift your soft palate because it blocks the nasal cavity. So there's just no possible way to be nasally with the soft palate lifted. So you need an open mouth breath though. If you try and breathe through your nose, how is that going to work? Because you're using your nasal cavity, right? So you can't use your nose and lift the soft palate at the same time. So open mouth breath, lift the soft palate, and now try it.
That's better. Yeah.
Now let's try it on the vowel without changing anything about the sound, other than that you're gonna now do it.
Try it on mean, but like wah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was awesome. We have. Okay. I tried to manage time as best I could. We have 1 more minute. If anyone has a hard 8:45 cutoff, please feel free to hop off. I can always send recordings out, but Blakely, we can work for another minute if you'd like.
You tell me.
All right, let's do it. So now the next step is to just put it all back in context. So I want you to actually just start on a phrase and sing through. So start a little before that so you can get into it.
Okay.
And know that placement is helpful for pretty much everything. So you can keep that and narrow and widen as appropriate in terms of what range you're in.
Okay. You can hold this.
Yeah.
That that's like a workout. I'm out of breath now.
We are athletes here, all of us. That was incredible. I am so proud of you, Blakely. That was so like night and day. Did you feel that?
Yeah, it also feels a lot less like it feels like I just can let it happen. It's not like I don't have to keep reminding myself squeeze your abs, raise your palate. I can just if I put it in the right place, it will just happen like that.
Yes. That's the goal. And that's the goal with singing, because what ideally the only thing on our minds is what we're communicating. The second we start overthinking or even just thinking about technique, it takes us out, and then we're not being authentic. And then the audience can tell. Because I'll leave you with this. There's a higher vibration than love. Love is a very high vibration. Spreading love, being loving one another. The highest vibration, this was scientifically tested, is authenticity. People can feel it. So if for a millisecond you start thinking about your technique and you go out of your authenticity, you could be doing the most heart-wrenching thing on stage and everyone's like this. And it's happened to me before. I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is intense. Everyone's gonna cry. And then everyone's like, and it's because I was sitting there okay, the high note's coming. So the goal is to have things like this where we can work it all out and then get it to a place exactly where you said, where you put it in the right place and you don't have to think about 700 things like I ask you to do every time. That's the goal here, and that's why we practice, because then we figure out the terms, we write them down, we figure out what we're doing, and then we practice it so much that all we need to do is communicate. So make every vocal intention, or make every vocal decision with the intention of communicating. And it will be authentic and people will like it, even if you crack, even if you sing the wrong words, even if you do it in your head voice when you meant to belt it. If you're being authentic, it does not matter. None of it matters. Okay, I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I had so much fun. If you had any questions, you can email me, put them in the chat, spread some love, and I'll see you all when I see you. And thank you again. I'm going to stop the recording. Unless anyone has any questions that we would like to be on the recording. Anyone have any questions? Okay, cool. I'm going to stop.